Patriots. Today we're going to address a very serious subject. One everyone has wondered what the answer is. And today, on Appalachian Stand Prepper, with me, your host, Old Core 1057, we are finally going to answer the question, does size matter? Hey Patriots, welcome back. We hope you enjoyed that little introduction. I know I had a ball doing it. Does size matter? We've all been wondering that our whole lives. Never can get a straight answer. But the answer is yes, it does. It certainly does. And what we're going to talk about here is the length of your barrel. Now this is basically a copy of the M4 carbine, the civilian version. It's a 16-inch barrel. I think the real M4's got like a 14.5 or something like that. But as you can see, we got multiple AR-15s laid out here. This is 16-inch barrel. And what we're going to do, we're just going to make this quick and just give you something to think about, because you know when you're going to buy yourself a rifle, you got to be thinking, well, what am I going to use it for? Is it really practical? Will it do what I'm asking it to do? Now, all the rage is short-barreled rifles. You know, they're cool, they're fun. I mean, I've never had a legitimate short-barreled rifle. I've got one of the AR pistols. You've seen it on the videos. You know, everything I got's legal. There's no hanky-panky going on around here. But everybody's like, "Oh man, Old Core, you gotta have that little bitty short rifle," and they're fun, man. They are. I mean, all guns are fun to shoot and talk about and learn the history of them and stuff. But the simple fact is that your barrel length matters. It matters on your sight radius, how far you're looking if you're using irons. A short sight radius is typically less accurate than a long sight radius. But the real deal, the real kicker, especially with a 5.56/223, the kicker is the velocity. With the size of that bullet, a 55 grain bullet, 62 grain bullet, 77 grain bullet, 77 grains, from what I hear, do a really good job. But they're still a 5.56 caliber. So these rifles are dependent on muzzle velocity to be effective. I mean, they can shoot fast. You know, they can have all the gizmos on them. And, you know, I mean, there's something about Americans that we worked for years to get a 6-pound infantry rifle. And as soon as we got a 6-pound infantry rifle, we immediately proceeded to hang 5 pounds worth of accessories on it, and we're right back to an 11-pound rifle. That's a topic for another show. Like I said, you know, the mission dictates what gear you carry. Your AO going to dictate what you need to fight the battle wherever you're at. But the fact remains, I got this written down here because I don't want to give you the wrong dope. But according to the research I've done, within a few feet per second, the barrel length between a 20 and a 10-inch barrel on a 55 grain 223, a 20-inch barrel, the muzzle velocity is 3,071 feet per second. An 18-inch barrel is 3,006 feet per second. A 16.5-inch barrel, the muzzle velocity is 2,968 feet per second. An 11-inch barrel is 2,579 feet per second, and a 10-inch barrel is 2,489 feet per second. So as you can see, you're losing 600 feet per second going from a 20-inch barrel to a 10-inch barrel, and this is with 223 load, not full pressure 5.56. For the M193 55 grain with a 20-inch barrel, you're getting muzzle velocity of 3,306, and it goes all the way down to a 10-inch barrel of 2,767. So you're losing, you know, there again, right about 600 plus or minus. 62 grain green tip, you're getting 20-inch barrel, 3,060 feet per second. 10-inch barrel, you're getting 2,489 feet per second. So, you know, the bottom line is, the shorter your barrel, the less muzzle velocity you're going to have. And around the size of a 5.56, just the diameter, the bullet weight, they're dependent on muzzle velocity to be effective. So this one here, this is my AR pistol. Got the SB3 brace on it, Palmetto State Ordnance, Anderson lower, 10.5 inch. You know, it's pretty fun to shoot. Yeah, it's kind of handy to have around. Sometimes I take it out with me when I'm doing chores, and you know, they have their place. They do, but I would not choose this if I was going to the mountains to wage guerrilla war. This would not be my choice of weapons, simply because, you know, it's got a big muzzle flash, and we're losing a lot of our velocity right out of the gate. And but would I carry this? Maybe if I had some kind of mission that wasn't directly involved with shooting, maybe if I was going to do some observing or something, or maybe I was carrying a bolt gun, a 308 or a 300 Win Mag or something like that. Depending on how far I had to go and what the terrain was, I might in fact carry this and strap the bolt gun to my pack. So yeah, you know, we had a lot of fun with the size matter, and it truly does. I mean, you know, a short-barreled rifle is never going to generate the velocities that will keep your round lethal at further distances. Guys are doing all kinds of cool stuff. I watch the same videos you guys do, and they're running cans on them. They're hitting steel targets, you know, 5, 6, 7, 800 meters away, ringing the steel with the short-barreled rifles. And it's cool, it's fun, and I ain't knocking nobody. I'm just telling you the facts are the muzzle velocity at a certain range, it's going to be less than lethal. It's, you know, I mean, we've all heard the talk about the green tip ammo, 100 yards. It's like effectively a 22 Magnum out of an M4. I wasn't in Afghanistan or Iraq. I can't tell you firsthand knowledge, but it would just seem to me that in Afghanistan, at least, we need a rifle with a lot more guts. And I don't know if the new rifle the Army's looking at is going to be the answer to that or not. I personally have questions about the pressures that new rifle is going to be running, and that bimetal cartridge case. I fear in a wartime scenario that could be a disastrous situation. However, I've never had a great love affair with the AR-15/M16 or the 5.56 cartridge. My personal belief is we need to be at about a 6.8, somewhere around there. You know, I think we can. We don't have to reinvent the wheel to get a better cartridge. We just need to step up to what we know we need, and it's all doable with pretty much conventional stuff already in place. We just got to make that choice. But you know, the truth of it is, there's so many of these rifles in circulation in the world that they're probably going to be here as long as the people watching this video are alive. I don't see it going away. But yes, you know, size does matter. Shorter's cool. And if you're one of them dudes that's got a short barrel, hey, I know you're having as much fun as I am with my longer barrel. I mean, you know, you can have fun with short barrels, you can have fun with long barrels. But just be advised, you know, at some point, the short barrel becomes less effective than the long barrel. Let's say here's 16.5 inch M4 clone. We know the issue M4 is shorter, a couple inches. Here's a 10.5 inch barrel. See, well, I got 10 inch, a 5.56, 55 grain. It leaves the muzzle at 2,700 feet per second, 2,767. You've already lost, what is it, 600 feet per second. 600 out of the gate. That's a lot of velocity, especially if you're fighting for your life. So just bear that in mind, guys. This rifle here, 18 inch barrel. I did this. This is my carrier rifle, the one I carry most of the time primary. 18-inch barrel, pretty much same setup here, Palmetto State Ordinance build, although this one has a super heavy barrel. This is more or less my civilian SAW or my civilian RPK. It has the same setup as this rifle for optics. However, it's just got a 3-power scope on it. I think for the mission of this rifle, the purpose I put this together for, I need that wide field of view for overwatch and fire support and whatnot. But it does have a super heavy barrel. I'm considering putting an Inconel gas tube on it. I haven't really decided. I still think maybe just being disciplined with your rate of fire is the answer. But we're going to do a video on this rifle all on its own at a later date. So with that, friends, now you can go out and tell everybody that you have the answer. Does size matter? Yes, it does. And I ain't saying you can't have fun with a short barrel, but you're going to be more effective with a long barrel. But to each his own. No shame in what you choose. You got to use the equipment you're issued. So, hey, with that, it's OCOR 1057 signing off. Remember, the maximum effective range of an excuse is 0 meters. So if you got a short barrel, use it to its full effectiveness and don't make no excuses. Get up off the couch, learn about this stuff, learn about the velocity, know your rifle's dope. Think about what you're doing. Don't just be buying junk on your rifle. It's going to get hung up in the vines and the bushes and cause you trouble and turn your 6-pound infantry rifle into an 11-pound monstrosity. Keep the faith. Semper Fi. And you guys know I love you. You love you. You're my people, and I'm your people. We're all in this together. Push that like and subscribe button. It'll give you a clear conscience. You won't have to go through the whole next week with that big burden of guilt going, dang, man, I let OCOR down. I couldn't even muster up enough energy and initiative to click a freaking button. How am I going to protect this country? How am I going to take our nation back from the communist hordes when I can't muster enough energy to push a like and subscribe button? So push the button! Push the button! It's your job! It's your duty! Do what you know is right! I love you guys. Semper Fi, and always, always demand liberty.